So a woman walks onto a Ryanair flight from Sofia to Athens in October 2017. She has scammed 3 million people out of $4 billion. She is the only woman on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. 9 years later, nobody has seen her anywhere, alive or dead. Two South African brothers, 17 and 20 years old, tell their crypto clients the company just got hacked. Then they fly to Dubai, then Turkey, then Switzerland. They vanish with 69,000 Bitcoin. 5 years later, they're quietly back home, living in a gated mansion estate. The police still can't touch them, and a tech legend hangs himself in a Spanish prison cell, hours after a court approved his extradition to the United States. 2 years earlier, he had tweeted, "If I ever hang myself, it wasn't me." Welcome to C Daily Buzz. Today, 3 of the biggest unsolved mysteries in crypto history. Sofia, Bulgaria, 2014. A woman named Ruja Ignatova launches a cryptocurrency called OneCoin. She calls it the Bitcoin killer. On paper, she is perfect. Bulgarian-German, raised in Germany, Oxford PhD, ex-McKinsey consultant. She gives speeches in sequined gowns in sold-out arenas, Wembley, Macau, Bangkok. She tells crowds that OneCoin will soon overtake Bitcoin, make everyone in the room rich. 3 million people in over 175 countries send her their money. There is one problem. OneCoin is not actually a cryptocurrency. There is no blockchain. There is no ledger. Every coin is just a number in a company database that Ruja controls. The whole thing is, according to US prosecutors, a $4 billion pyramid scheme. By 2017, authorities around the world are closing in. On October 25, 2017, Ruja Ignatova boards Ryanair flight FR 6300, Sofia to Athens, economy class. She has not been seen since. Not by police, not by journalists, not by any of her 3 million victims. The FBI now lists her on the 10 most wanted fugitives list. Reward, $5 million US. She is the only woman on that list. The theories are endless. Some say she's in Russia, under the protection of an ex-boyfriend with Russian oligarch connections. Some say Dubai. Some say Thailand. Some say she's already dead, allegedly murdered on a private yacht off the coast of Greece by people who did not want her testifying against them. The BBC made a podcast about her called The Missing CryptoQueen. It's on season 6. They still have no answer. Her co-founder, Carl Greenwood, is serving 20 years in US federal prison. Her legal head, Irina Dilkinska, got 4 years. In November 2025, the Royal Court of Guernsey ordered the forfeiture of millions of pounds in offshore accounts tied to her network. Victim compensation is finally beginning. But Ruja Ignatova herself? As of May 2026, still gone. Maybe alive, maybe on a beach reading headlines about herself, maybe dead at the bottom of the Mediterranean. No one knows. South Africa, 2019. 2 brothers, Amir Cajee, 17, and Rais Cajee, 20, launch a cryptocurrency investment platform called Africrypt. They promise daily returns. Clients, including several professional athletes and tech executives, pile in. April 13, 2021. At the peak of the Bitcoin bull market, the brothers email their clients. Africrypt has been hacked. Funds are gone. Please do not contact the police, lawyers, or any authority. Any such contact, they warn, will slow down recovery efforts. Some clients do not believe this. They hire Hanacom attorneys in Cape Town. The lawyers trace the wallets. They find approximately 69,000 Bitcoin missing, worth at the time $3.6 billion US. They also find something else. Forensic investigators working with the liquidators later discovered that the wallets were already being drained 4 months before the supposed hack. By then, the brothers are already gone. Travel records reportedly place them in the United Kingdom, then Dubai, then Turkey, then Switzerland. In Zurich, Amir is briefly arrested while allegedly visiting a safe deposit box thought to contain crypto wallet backups. He is released on bail. He disappears again. South African authorities can do almost nothing. In South Africa in 2021, cryptocurrency is not yet legally classified as a financial product. The Hawks, the country's elite crime unit, cannot formally prosecute what isn't legally defined as fraud. Years pass. Then, in February 2026, a South African investigative TV program called Carte Blanche drops a bomb. Journalists trace the Cajee brothers back to South Africa. They're reportedly living at Zimbali Estate, a gated luxury coastal community in KwaZulu-Natal, and occasionally spotted in Umhlanga and Johannesburg. When reporters tried to approach, private security blocked them. Lawyers representing defrauded investors said something even more damning. They still cannot formally serve the brothers with legal papers, because the private security keeps them out, and without served papers, no trial can begin. So, the Cajee brothers went through Dubai, Turkey, and Zurich, allegedly moved funds through mixers and tumblers, then came home, moved into a mansion, and waited out the system. As of May 2026, no charges, no arrests, no recovered funds. Just two brothers, 9 figures richer, living in one of the nicest neighborhoods in South Africa. The final story is the wildest. John McAfee, creator of the antivirus software that carries his name, sold the company in the 90s for over $100 million, then went completely off the rails. He moves to Belize in 2008, buys a sprawling jungle compound, surrounds himself with armed guards, young women he calls his girlfriends, and packs of dogs. He claims to be researching antibiotics in his private lab. Then, in November 2012, his neighbor Gregory Fall, a fellow American expat, is found shot dead in his own home in Belize. McAfee is named a person of interest. He flees Belize on the back of a smuggler's boat, disguises himself with shoe polish, hides in Guatemala, posts everything on his blog the entire time. He is never formally charged with the murder. Then comes the crypto era. From 2017 onward, John McAfee becomes one of the loudest voices on crypto Twitter. He has hundreds of thousands of followers. He pumps small coins. He famously promises that Bitcoin will hit $1 million by 2020 and offers to publicly eat a part of his own anatomy on television if it doesn't. The US SEC later charges him with $2 million in undisclosed paid promotions. The IRS charges him with over $10 million in unreported crypto income. He runs yacht, private jet, Cuba, Dominican Republic, constantly tweeting threats, predictions, and government conspiracy accusations. In October 2020, McAfee is arrested at Barcelona Airport, Spain, headed to Istanbul. Spanish authorities act on a US extradition warrant. He sits in Sant Esteve de Sesrovire prison for 8 months. He tweets. He films videos from inside. He tattoos the word "whacked" on his arm in large letters, a reference to a meme coin he allegedly launched, named after his own potential assassination. And in June 2019, before any of this, he had already tweeted, quote, "Getting subtle messages from US officials saying in effect, 'We're going to kill you. If I ever hang myself a la Epstein, it wouldn't be of my doing.'" June 23, 2021. The Spanish National Court officially approves his extradition to the United States. Hours later, John McAfee is found hanging in his cell, dead, 75 years old. His wife, Janice McAfee, immediately rejects the suicide ruling. She tells press she had spoken with him just before. He was planning the next legal fight. He wanted to see his family. He was preparing what he called his big reveal. He had reason to live, she said, not to die. His body is held by Spanish authorities for over 4 months before being released to his family. No public autopsy. No cell surveillance footage ever released. Spain insisted there was no foul play. The theories run deep. McAfee allegedly held documents on Belize, Guatemala, and Cuba government corruption, and had threatened multiple times to release them if anything happened to him. A so-called insurance file of encrypted data distributed across multiple servers set to auto-publish in the event of his death. That file allegedly has never been released. Netflix released a documentary about him called Running with the Devil: The Wild World of John McAfee in 2022. It features the Epstein-style tweet, the dollar whacked tattoo, the claims of damaging government documents, and the wife who, to this day, will not stop saying her husband was murdered. As of May 2026, the official ruling is still suicide. Janice still disputes it. The encrypted insurance file, if it ever existed, has stayed silent. The richest tech eccentric of his generation died in a Spanish cell on the day of his extradition with a tattoo predicting his own murder. And nobody really knows what happened, or what was on those files, or who, if anyone, didn't want him talking. That's a wrap. A woman who defrauded 3 million people walked onto a plane in 2017 and vanished. 2 teenagers moved $3.6 billion through Dubai and came home to a gated estate. And a tech legend hanged himself in a Spanish cell, after predicting that exact hanging 2 years earlier. 3 of the biggest crypto stories of our generation. None of them have endings. The blockchain is permanent, but the people behind it can disappear into thin air, into the ocean, into an unmarked grave, into a luxury estate with private security and nothing more to say. Some mysteries get solved, some don't, and some nobody actually wants solved. Hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. We drop new episodes every week. We'll see you next time on C Daily Buzz.